Marcus Chun had been drifting between colony stations for 3 years, taking whatever work he could find. The Thorian settlement on Kareth 9 was his latest stop, a struggling agricultural colony that needed temporary laborers for the harvest season. He'd applied for the standard agricultural position, expected the standard rejection or acceptance, and prepared himself for another season of backbreaking work and loneliness. The interview was with a Thorian widow named Selka. She was striking, tall, her exoskeleton a deep emerald green that seemed to absorb light. Her movements were precise, efficient, but there was something sad in the way she held herself, as if she was carrying weight that had nothing to do with physical burden. "You are seeking employment," she said, her translator converting her clicks and whistles into clear human speech. "Yes, ma'am. I'm experienced in agricultural systems, irrigation management, crop rotation. I do not require those skills," Selka interrupted. Marcus's heart sank. "Standard rejection incoming. What I require," she continued, "is a father." Marcus blinked. I am sorry. My daughter, Kes, is 7 years old. Her biological father was killed in the colony accident 2 cycles ago. She has struggled. The lost counselor suggests she needs male role modeling from a species with similar developmental psychology. She paused, studying Marcus intently. "You appear to be a human of reasonable disposition. I'm offering you housing, food, and substantial compensation, not for agricultural work, but for spending time with my daughter, teaching her, playing with her, helping her remember what it means to have a parent." Marcus felt like the ground had shifted beneath him. "I'm not a therapist," he said carefully. "I'm just a maintenance tech who needed work." "Precisely," Selka said. "I do not need another specialist or counselor. I need someone ordinary, someone who can simply be present." Against his better judgment, Marcus accepted. The first week was awkward. Kes was a small Thorian hybrid, her exoskeleton still soft and translucent, her movements uncertain. She barely acknowledged Marcus, spending most of her time in her quarters or hiding behind her mother. Marcus didn't push. He simply existed in the same space, doing normal things. He sat in the common area and read. He helped prepare meals. He hummed while he worked. He was deliberately, mundanely present. On the 8th day, Kes appeared next to him while he was fixing a water filtration unit. "What are you doing?" she clicked softly. "Fixing this filter. It's clogged. Can I help?" And just like that, something shifted. Over the following weeks, Marcus became part of Kes's daily life. They didn't do therapeutic activities. They did normal things. He taught her how to identify different plant species. They played a Thorian game involving strategic stone placement that he was absolutely terrible at, which made Kes laugh harder each time he lost. He told her stories about human history, the silly ones, the embarrassing ones that made her antennae twitch with what he recognized as delight. He also let her see him grieve. One evening, while they were working in the garden, Kes asked about his family. Marcus told her about the daughter he'd left on Earth because he'd been too immature to be a father, about the guilt that had driven him from planet to planet, never staying long enough to hurt anyone again. Kes listened without judgment. Then she placed her small chitinous hand on his and said, "My father is not coming back. But you are here. That is enough." Something in Marcus's chest had cracked open. By the end of the season, the harvest was complete, and Marcus had more than enough credits to move on. He packed his belongings on his final evening, preparing to leave as he always did. Kes found him in his quarters. "You are going," she stated, not a question. "The contract's finished," Marcus said gently. "I need to find other work." "My mother has a new contract offer," Kes said quietly. "Permanent position. Housing, food, and she said you could decide your own compensation." She said. Kes paused, her translator processing carefully. "She said you have given us something more valuable than labor. You have given us a family again." Marcus felt tears running down his face. "Kes, I'm not stable enough to be what you need. I've failed at this before." "My biological father was not perfect either," Kes interrupted. "He was messy and flawed and sometimes forgot things. But he was present, and he loved us. You are the same." Marcus looked at this small alien child, This being from a completely different species who had somehow recognized what he'd been searching for, a second chance to be what a family needed. Okay, he said. Okay, I'll stay. That night, for the first time in 3 years, Marcus Chun stopped drifting. He had found something more valuable than freedom. He'd found purpose. He'd found home. He'd found a daughter who needed him not as a worker, but as exactly what he'd been all along, a flawed, present, genuinely trying human being. Sometimes the most important work we do isn't in our job descriptions. Sometimes it's simply showing up as ourselves, completely imperfect, and letting someone know they matter.